Okay, here's $1 million question.
Huh? Yeah. $1 million.
Who's your favorite police officer?
Oh.
For a while, when we first came here, they didn't even know we were police officers.
Meet Darren Young. The kids call him Shaq. Now with the St. Louis County Sheriff's Department, he's been a police officer for 35 years. The last 8 years in what's called the PAL program. The PAL program is where kids and cops connect. It's a connection aimed at changing the public perception of police.
Tomorrow, remember, we are going to have South County coming up. We're going to play a nice friendly game of kickball. We're going to have some pizza. We're going to play dodgeball. Our job is humanizing the badge. It's building relationships with the community.
Brandon Sierra is also part of the PAL program, a program that puts police in schools, on playgrounds, and in summer camps like this one.
Head up, let's go. Walk down, head up, head up, head up. Keep your head up, keep your head up, keep your head up. Who's me?
Well, you know, on videos, the police officers. Right. But y'all are really nice. I love y'all a lot.
It's a stigma that's been attached to the black community, and the police, when you see the police, you give them the look or the stare or whatever, or are they looking at me or are they judging me, and it's something we have to get past, and it's a shame that we're in 2023 and we're still there.
This is 11-year-old Casey and 10-year-old Nyla's first year in the PAL program.
I realized he was a cop, and I was like, oh, wow. And it was amazing. They could actually change their perspective about how they see the world. Exactly. And how they see cops.
In 2015, many of the officers now in PAL were on duty during the Ferguson riots. It was a difficult time, especially for those like Officer Brandon, who was a school resource officer.
They called us out to be involved on the front lines of the riots, so we'd have a lot of issues back at school. Sometimes the same kids we'd meet on the street or in our schools as well.
1 year later, out of a need to heal the divide between the cops and the community, the PAL program was formed. For officers like Darren, that wound is still healing.
When I come here, excuse me.
What are the tears?
It's joy. It's joy. You're around the kids, they're happy, they're sad, and they're smiling and they're laughing. And that's a full day. For me, it's probably the best job I've ever had, and I know that for a fact.
When you have the ball in your hand, you can take 3 steps and must pass to a teammate. These bonds we've established over the 6-7 years are unmatchable. We have kids that have gone up to college now. They call us with issues.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hey.
How's work?
It was good. It's hot up there.
In some cases, a bond so strong, they become family.
This is the kind of stuff that we were talking about, like when you take a car loan out.
Yeah.
Sergeant Jennifer Williams, one of the founding members of the St. Louis PAL program, now fosters 19-year-old Dalen Kincaid. Their connection began in 2020 when reports of abuse in his home sent Dalen to the University City Police Station.
I responded to the University City Police Department, and I sat with Dalen that night for probably about 8 hours.
I felt that night that my back was against the wall, but I knew, she didn't leave. Something told me, I was like, I was telling myself, like, you good, bro.
Dalen was raised by his grandmother, who had recently died. He didn't have many options.
It did touch my heart because we were there for some time. I know anyone else would have been like, I washed their hands with it and eventually went home,
Nowhere near the goals and aspirations and passions that we have inside.
That day I prayed the whole day that, I will get a good opportunity, to be able to have a successful life.
I planned on leaving with this child from the University City Police Department that night. I planned on it. And the state put him in a facility instead.
From there, Dalen went on to live with his Pee Wee football coach, who later died of COVID. All the time, Jennifer stayed in his life. He had his own room at her house. Today, Dalen is thankful to the cops, including his now foster mom, for coming to his rescue.
I probably, you know, either been in jail or locked up. Jail, you know, dead, you know, honestly, it's hard to talk about sometimes.
That's your goal.
That's my
Okay,
goal.
so if you don't feel like you've gotten as much done in class that day that you would have liked to have done, what's your...
It was a blessing. It was God touching me, and it was God talking to me, telling me that he got me.
Dalen now lives with Jennifer and her 16-year-old son, Mac. In the fall, Dalen will be a sophomore at Missouri Valley, where he received a football scholarship. What does the future look like going forward?
I just see us still being the happy family we are. You know, me telling them, calling them, hey, you know, I ordered y'all tickets for the game. You know, ordered y'all tickets for the Jets game. Honestly, that's where I see it going.
Jennifer has since retired. The program cut to just 2 or 3 officers due to a need for more cops on the streets. But to Jennifer and the officers that remain, PAL's purpose still stands.
It showed me there was a purpose, and we could make a difference in law enforcement, and we can do it directly with children's lives.
It's going to be generation after generation. This isn't a short-term solution. This is a long-term possibility.
I would love to see programs like PAL all over the country to say, okay, hey, if this is what it takes, then that's what it takes. I mean, we got to try something. So why not PAL?
You have a YouTube channel, you can shout it out.
Check, 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 check.